Hey everyone, today I just wanted to do a quick tutorial on a really fun way to make a mini folio using just 2 pieces of cardstock. So the finished size on this ends up being about 4 inches by 5 inches, and the spine is about 1/2 inch. So that's kind of the finished size when you're all done. So this, I'll just give you a quick tour and then I'll show you how I made it. So this folds out like that, and this flap folds up, and this one folds down, and that's a pocket. And we're gonna be embellishing this over the next few videos as well. These are papers from the November subscription kit. So if you want that, you can use it. If not, use whatever you have. So I made my final one with black cardstock, but I did a prototype on white so that you could see the measurements and things like that. So you have 2 pieces of cardstock. This is about 110 pounds, so it's sturdy but not super duper thick. All right, so for the first cut, you're gonna cut these into 2 4-inch strips along the long side. So this piece ends up being 4 by 11. And then this one, I cut it at 4 by 11, and then I trimmed it down to 10 1/4 inches long. So I just trimmed off a little because we didn't quite need all of it. So that's the first 2 pieces. And then the second 2 pieces, I cut the other direction, and they're 5 inches. So they're each 5 inches wide by the 8 1/2. All right, and those ones, you just leave that size. You don't have to trim any off. All right, so now I'm just gonna tell you the score lines. If you don't have a scoreboard, go ahead and just mark them with a pencil, and then go ahead and just fold them the best you can with a bone folder or your fingernail, whatever works. All right, so let's start with this piece. This one is the 4 by 10 1/4. So it's the only one that we trimmed anything off of. And I'm gonna bring that up so you can see. But I have scored along the 5-inch mark and the 5 1/4 inch mark. So that's measuring from this side over here. So 5 inches, 5 1/4. And when it's folded, it looks like so. All right, this one's the full 4 by 11. And it is scored at 5, 5 3/8, and 9. So when this is done, it's like this. And then our first 8 1/2 by 5 inch piece, we've scored at 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 5 3/4, whoops, and 6. So when it's done, it's like this. And then the last one is at 4 and 4 1/2. So always starting from this side, 4 inches and 4 1/2. And it looks just like that when it's done. All right, so super easy to assemble. Go ahead, and I've numbered it. This is the one that has this little pocket. So this actually is gonna end up being a pocket. It's the 4 by 11 piece. Put that one down first. This is the very back. So on the prototype, it's this piece right here, the very back. Then you're gonna bring this one, the 8 1/2 by 5 with all the folds, tons of folds. And it's gonna come here, and you're gonna go ahead and glue that down, and just make sure to line up here on these edges so everything's lined up. And you're only gluing down that 1 1/2 inch flap. So when you're done, it will be like this, if that makes sense. All right, I mean, I guess we can glue it down. I'll just glue it down so you can see how it goes, but I don't know that I'll ever make anything with it, so I'm not gonna worry too much. But I just want you to see how easy it comes together. So if you fold that teeny gusset in, then you just line it up and push that down. All right, so that one's glued down, and then we need this one next. And this one is going to come up top like so. So go ahead and just glue that down. I guess I could use it and make another. But it's just fun because this comes together and you're just using 2 pieces of cardstock. So how I like to line them up is fold everything down and then make sure that this is lined up. And as I go, I'm just kind of folding and making sure everything can still close and function. All right, and then this last piece will come right here on the very top. Now, one thing to note, if you want like a little flap or another little piece added in, you can do that before you put these papers down if you need anything else tucked under or anything. So just keep that in mind depending on what you're putting in. For mine, I didn't want to do anything too fancy, so nothing else needs to get tucked under or anything. All right, so there is that. So let me kind of zoom back a little bit more. Maybe that'll, I can't get much further. Anyway, so right now it kind of looks like a T. A ski wampus T. All right, so how this goes together is these are gonna fold up, this folds down, this one folds in, and this one folds on top. So you have it just like this. And it leaves plenty of room for adding more into it, which is what we're gonna do in the next several videos. So the next step that I did on this is I did 3 8.5 by 11 papers from the kit. This pattern, and this pattern. And I just cut them into, well, this piece, the black piece, is 4 inches by 5 inch. So I just took off a 1/4 inch on each direction. So instead of 4 by 5, I cut them into 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. I had to think about that. And I cut 4 from each sheet of paper. So just cut it like that. And then I used my corner rounder just because I think it's fun. And then I just randomly picked the surfaces I want them to go on. And for example, on these ones, I had to cut those pieces down, but I still started with that basic size and then cut it down to the size I needed for that shorter pocket. And that was the same with these 2 pockets here. I just cut them down. And the same with these, I just cut them to the width that I wanted and just randomly picked whatever paper I felt in the mood for. So there is a really simple folio, and it's really sturdy because on that back piece you have 3 full pieces of cardstock and that little sliver as well. So it's a really solid base for this folio. So anyway, stay tuned. We're gonna have some fun decorating this over the next couple of videos, and I'm super excited to see how it turns out. So we will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.